This video is going to be short and sweet in message, but slightly more complicated and frustrating in application. Simply, you need to have patience when you're editing your story. I've recently started getting into the weeds of editing, and I found it a quite boring and frustrating process. Rereading the same story, chapters and sections that I've been thinking about for years can be quite tedious, and spending hours concentrating only to change a few words or rearrange a single sentence isn't exactly the most rewarding experience in the journey so far. If you're going to be editing your own book, rather than hiring an editor, then you need a lot of patience. You have to read everything you've written again and again, perfecting each word, ensuring continuity, and if needs be, even rewriting entire segments of your story. Rewriting is something we'll talk about in another video, but for now, it's quite clear that a lot of time and patience is needed, so you don't end up hating the thing that you've spent so much time lovingly writing. So, patience is key. That's easier said than done, though. How can we not get angry with the process and conduct editing patiently without rushing through it and wasting our time? The most obvious solution to begin with is to space out your editing. This obviously depends on your style, but I find I don't lose patience with editing when I make a conscious effort to edit small sections of my work day by day. Sometimes it's a chapter, sometimes a page, and sometimes it's only a paragraph. There are drawbacks when it comes to remembering the consistency of the story, but that's why doing it regularly is important. Spacing things out allows you to continually get perspective on what you've written, as well as take care of the individual words or passages that you're looking at. This all contributes to you losing patience less quickly, as you're not overwhelmed with negativity or tedium. You want to pace yourself, because editing is a meticulous and mentally consuming process that you don't want to become a chore. Not doing too much is a great way to prevent that. Another strategy that I've been using recently is to have other people edit your work. Step back from the book that you've invested so much in, and which can make it harder to self-critique, and ask somebody else close to you to go over the book. This isn't the most effective way for catching errors or improving the writing, as most friends and family won't have the time or energy to analyze every detail, but it can be a great method for editing story beats, consistency and character development. Just remember that the people you ask may often want to avoid giving you negative feedback and want to shower you with praise. You'll need to make it clear to them that when editing, constructive and negative feedback is far more useful. Finally and simply, make sure you reward yourself for editing. This can be a laborious and tiresome process, so it's important to positively reinforce any progress you're making. When you're writing, you get joy from the act itself, but this is rarely the case with editing. Make sure the rewards are proportionate to the scale of the work you're doing, however. 30 minutes of editing doesn't equal 5 hours of video games or a holiday to the Maldives. When I'm editing, I keep a bowl of snacks nearby that I take from only when I've edited one page of my book. This is proportionate. The risk here is that you rush your editing to get the reward. Make sure you are being diligent and honest with your work and are deserving of the reward you get in the end. This will all help you find the time and, importantly, the patience for editing, because the experience has a light at the end of the tunnel.